This MMA 30 segment is powered by The Gun Store. Next time you're in Las Vegas, if you want to shoot a real machine gun, do it at The Gun Store at 2900 East Tropicana.
Obviously, I'm very competitive. I want to reface everybody I've ever had a loss to. And Brock, obviously, is probably at the top of that list. To be honest with you, though, because of the question of his health, it's taken a lot of the wind out of my sail. It's kind of hard to call a guy out and want to, and face him when he's dealing with those things on a personal issue. It kind of takes it from the sport, the athletic world of combat, where we're facing each other in the octagon, to where now, it's like, well, no, man, this guy's a father, he's a husband, and he's dealing with health issues. I can't think along those lines, and now let's just get in there and let's fight. Once he comes out, he's able to perform, and he's healthy again. He has a great performance against Alistair. I'm sure all those emotions bubble up in him. But for right now, he has other things going on in his life that really distract me from him. Oh yeah, I would love to be able to fight Overeem. I think he's, I think that actually Overeem would be a harder fight. He has a better chance against me than he does with Brock just because of styles. My shot's not where Brock's shot is. I'm more willing to stand and trade and move around, so more around than what Brock is. So I think it makes for a much more exciting fight for Overeem than it would be, for him to face Brock. I just don't see that fight staying on his feet for more than it takes for him to get across the octagon.
Exactly. And one quick question, I don't know if it's ever been asked of you, but we know because of the motorcycle injury that you suffered 7-8 years ago while you were heavyweight champ, you were supposed to fight Andrei Arlovski. And that's a matchup that I feel we fans got robbed of. And I know both of you have taken different directions in your career, but whether now or back then, can you tell us how you would have approached that fight with Arlovski? And if for whatever reason now he comes back to the UFC, would you like to fight him?
Oh, absolutely, I would love to fight him. In fact, actually, every time Arlovski fights, I'm always rooting for him because I want him to do well. I've always been a huge fan. I think that striking-wise, offensively, he was one of the best heavyweights we've ever had. The guy danced around through combinations, rapid fire speed. I was a fan of his watching him fight. At that time in my career, I couldn't have stood up with him at all. I would have had to immediately try to get the fight to the ground, which he was very swift, and he was also very good sambo practitioner, so that wasn't necessarily going to guarantee victory there either. Nowadays, I think that his striking has actually gone down because, for whatever reason, wear and tear on the chin doesn't seem to take the same shot he was able to, and my striking obviously has improved drastically since those years ago.
Just a bit.
No, I think basically it comes down to a style fight. If you look at Alistair Overeem, he's one of the most decorated strikers we have in the heavyweight division. He's won the K1. He's a very strong, powerful striker. That being said, he has to defend the shot of Lesnar. And pretty much this is coming down to about as close as you can get to it now, where it's a grappler versus a striker. It doesn't work out for the striker very often. I mean, you have a few exceptions to the rule. There's Anderson Silva. But if you go on a list of 100 strikers versus 100 grapplers, 98 of the wrestlers are going to win because they control the position, they're going to get the takedown. That's why everybody in UFC is training our wrestling abilities, because that dictates where the fight's going to happen. Whether you want to keep the fight on your feet or whether you don't. I just don't see how Alistair, who is going to stop Lesnar's takedown. Lesnar, I think, having the fight with King Velasquez is actually going to work out to his benefit. Maybe before the Velasquez fight, he would have walked out with Overeem and maybe just thrown a jab, moved his head, and thought he could throw a couple strikes, and that might have been gotten him in trouble. Sometimes a little bit of knowledge is a very dangerous thing. But I think now, after the Velasquez fight, doing the little disco dance he did, I think he realizes he doesn't want to exchange with people. So I think that actually made Brock more dangerous. I think now he's just going to basically blast one jab, cover up, put his head in his chest, and run him into the cage, and rip his legs off from underneath of him, and then it's going to be, lights out. I mean, right now, those are the 1-2 guys in the division. I think that, Dos Santos is one of the best boxers that we have in the UFC. I feel that that if I were to strike with him, I feel like a little bit more well-rounded as far as he has better hands, but I incorporate more knees, kicks, elbows, and try to be more range of attacks. On the ground, I don't know about Dos Santos. He's very good at escaping as far as what he's capable of doing there. He's able to keep it on his feet. He's won a lot of fights there. Velasquez, I think, is a pain in the butt for anybody to face. I think the fact that he's so well-rounded, he has good hands, good head movement, great takedowns. Obviously, with Brock, he threw him around like nobody's done that to him in the UFC. Velasquez, the one thing he has going on him, it's the scariest thing for any heavyweight to face is cardio. Because all of us kind of know, it's like, well, I'm not going to get tired, but the other guy's going to get tired too. In fact, Velasquez, that can't really be a factor in your mind. You're like, I might get tired, but this guy's not. So I think they're both scary opponents.
This MMA 30 segment is powered by The Gun Store. Next time you're in Las Vegas, if you want to shoot a real machine gun, do it at The Gun Store at 2900 East Tropicana.